Welcome back, folks. How's it going?
Pretty good. How everyone be?
Surviving
too
the day,
bad.
getting ready to go back to work next week.
Oh yeah, that's right. How long have you been off work?
Uh, Including the vacation time, I think it's been 6.5, 7 weeks.
I don't know why I figured it would be longer, but I mean, that's good. Are you
Yeah.
excited?
Oh yeah, no, I knew I was going to be off for like 2.5 weeks of that was vacation, and the other
Mm.
5 weeks was just basically I knew I'd be off. It's just the way that the contracts work there. You get a contract, you're on for about 13, 14 months. They have to lay you off for a month and a half. So
Oh, okay. So I thought it was COVID related because
no,
we
no,
have
no,
people here that's been out of work for like a year.
no. I was worked all the way through COVID. That never stopped me from working. It was just I had been on my contract long enough, and they said, okay, we got to give you a break for a bit. It's just where I work. Uh, if you've been there too long, they have to offer you a full time position, and there's so many people
Oh, we can't have that.
jobs, So
Pay
We
you
can't be
40
having that.
hours a week? Hell
Not
no.
allowed.
hey, I'm on salary once I start working. I'm not worried. It's just work my shift.
Oh.
It's a good job while I'm working. Even the unemployment's good.
You
So
know, I wonder about that. Is it best to be paid hourly or salary?
It depends.
one is consistent, so you know exactly what you're getting all the time. Doesn't matter whether you're work or not, right?
You know
Yeah.
what? And I think the issue I'm thinking about is commission. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
That's the one that sucks.
yeah, but
I used to work in the
salary can suck too if you don't get any overtime.
Mm.
So they can just work you basically in like I don't know. There's a cutoff, I'm sure somewhere, but a whole lot of hours without any extra pay. It happens to fast food managers all the time.
See, now
Well,
I'm unionized, so that doesn't happen to us. We work 37 and a half hours a week. Period.
You made it. Hang in there. No, I'm figured it's mostly non-unionized. Well, I don't really think managers ever are a part of a union, but basically non-unionized managers that are often salaried anyway.
yeah, but they work as long as they have to every day. Now, there's the rare case where you might work less than 8, but it's typically over 40 hours a week for the same pay every week.
Yep.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, then I guess in that sense it does depend. So, Ollieman, like you go in, like you're not working from home, you actually have to go in, or you work from home.
When I start on Monday, I got to go in. But either Monday or Tuesday, IT will come by my desk and okay my computer so I can bring it home, and then I'll be working from home.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
I've been working on and off from home the past couple weeks, and I like it. It's my first time doing it.
That's cool. Are you adjusting well?
No, I work from home tomorrow. I just have a really hard time focusing and being like I'm like so distracted, and I have so many things going on, and I have so many devices and ways to distract myself. It's hard to focus on what I'm doing. I have to do it in like small like stretches of time.
Hmm, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought about like if I ever had to work from home, which would never be the case unless I was like doing case management type of work. Um, yeah, I it would not be good for me either. I have to physically go somewhere to get my lazy ass out of the house to actually do something. And, similar to you, I'd probably be too easily distracted.
Right.
Yeah, for
You
me,
I
work
mean,
like,
with
I
most or some.
yeah,
I've considered this. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, my office has been remote, but now that like pretty much everyone, and we have a smallish office, so like, and everyone's a little bit older, so everyone is like able to get the vaccine. So now that everyone's kind of vaccinated, they're kind of just like, oh, let's go back into the office pretty soon, and I'm like, that's a 45-minute drive for me, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
traffic, and I gotta
yeah.
go into the city,
Yeah, me
and
too.
I
It's
I
a
kind of like.
45 minute drive for me too.
Yeah, I
I
kind of
think
like just getting up and being in the office, but I kind of get at the same time, like you get distracted by stuff, and it's like, yeah, if
Well,
I
I
was
think
in
I
the
think
office,
most
it's hard to,
places,
yeah.
yeah, I think most places are gonna go like part-time remote. So you have like 2 or 3 or 4 days in the office and then a day or two at home still. I think that's going to be really common going forward.
It
Yeah,
could
I mean,
be.
my boss was
Pretty
kind of
realistic.
like, he kind of implied he wanted most people to be in the office unless you like really had to stay home for some reason. Like I'm sure now it would be more like, it might be, people would be more like, oh, I need to, pick up my so and so from something, or I need to help out and watch my kid because he's homesick. I'm just gonna work from home, and it's like it's a little bit easier in that capacity if you're like, if you need to stay home and watch your kid. It's not like you have to like be off work or have any sort of struggle trying to do that. It's like, oh, I'll just work from home. It's like, okay, fine.
Hmm.
Well, it's also like getting a raise working from home when you got that kind of drive.
Yeah.
Because I saved at least $5,000 last year just in gas.
hmm
Wow.
Because I'm almost an hour from work too. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I only had to go in one day this week, and it was like $10 in gas, and I'm like, it's like $10 a day for me, so it's like $40 of gas that I didn't have to pay.
yeah.
Well, lucky you guys.
Same thing for me is that I have to park in like a parking garage like across the street. And at first they were like, "Oh, here's a parking pass," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." But then at one point they're like, it doesn't cost us. It's not cost effective for us to like um give you guys the parking pass because like not everyone's coming to the office, so we'll just do it on a by day. Every time you go in, pay and then give us the ticket, and we'll pay you back. And it's like, okay, but they're not going to give us the parking passes again for some reason, even though we're all coming back to the office. So I'm like, all right, so I have to pay like
Of
fifteen
course you do.
dollars a day
Of course you
on my
do.
own money, and then wait every 2 weeks to get a reimbursement from you guys. Like,
How dare
great.
you? How dare you feel like you did not have to pay?
Yeah, that's gonna be like over $100
talk
that
to
you're
your
just
boss.
waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like if you're all parking in there, I'm sure your boss could approach them and say, "Hey, we want to rent this section of your parking garage and make it private just for our employees."
Well, we had like a pass, and it would be how much they paid was like as if someone was parking there 3 days a week, and like the parking pass was fine. You just park it, and it's not like there was like not enough room anywhere. Like we were fine with that, but it's like, okay, so now every day I have to like pay like however much money, and then just wait for you guys to pay me back. It's not like you guys want us to come in every single day, so I'm hoping I can like get, hey, it's not like it's not like good for me financially to pay, like because it's every 2 weeks I get paid. So I'm assuming every 2 weeks is when they'll pay me back. So what? That's like 15 times 5. So it's like what, $75 a week,
Week. Yeah.
$150, like every. Almost like you're really making me pay. You're like, I'm about to say like, you're gonna make me pay this. Like you're gonna pay me back. You might as well just give me the parking pass.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Ollie
Yeah.
man, your furnace freaked me out because all of a sudden it just like lit up. I'm like, oh my god.
It's the hell demons are coming.
End the broadcast really quick.
When it gets going, that's the way it goes. It just pops right on and just sets
Okay,
on fire.
well,
So
cool, but that scared the shit out of me. Um, no, yeah, that absolutely doesn't make sense, Rallon. Wow. I'm
Yeah,
sure. Well,
I'm hoping I can say like, hey, I'm going back every single day. Like, can you get the parking pass for me? Like, cause I don't want to have to pay every. I don't want to have to like pay. I mean, I guess it's fine with my like, I get points or whatever for every for
yeah,
getting, I get cash back or whatever because of my card. But at the same time, it's like that's $150 every 2 weeks that I have to wait and hope that you give me in a timely fashion.
right. I don't know, because I know I would say at least half of my department, we're not really that huge, but at least half of my department is working from home. A lot of our like, because I work in a health education department, so we're running our health classes virtually. And so, all of the educators work from home and have the equipment from the organization that they bring home and things like that. And then I think they set the deadline of having remote workers coming back to the office by end of August, I believe. And so and this is like not a normal type of clinic that I work in. It's mainly just, classrooms and small patient room areas where we like see patients face to face, but it's nothing like major like I guess outpatient clinic type situation. But what was I gonna say? now that we have also, my building has become a vaccine site as of last week. We're having more traffic and a lot of, desk arrangements or desk rearrangements, I should say, happened because, towards the beginning, when people needed to still be in the office, you had to separate them because a lot of the office spaces kept at least two or three, but the clustering, obviously, the social distancing was an issue. So a lot of, especially with one of my case managers, now she absolutely needs to work from home because now her office space is taken over by someone else. And she, she doesn't mind because she's been wanting to work from home for years anyway. But it's just interesting how if most, if not all, will need to start coming back. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but yeah. One interesting thing though, and I, failed to look at this because I guess this came out earlier today from the CDC, is that now people that have been fully vaccinated don't necessarily have to wear a mask inside anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still say everyone kind of should anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't see the official announcements from the CDC, but I heard reports that they were announcing it, and
right.
then I think there was something official that came out. Um, but it was
In,
like today, so it's not. It's going to take a
Yeah,
while for each state individual guidelines to relax.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I saw it on Twitter because like I follow Biden and he posted it, and then my state was like, no, you still have to do stringent guidelines for a bit.
Yeah, it's just going to
So
take time for them to comb
yeah,
through it and make sure that everything is good to go. And like Michigan, we have a 55% vaccination rate, and the original plan was to have relax masking guidelines at 70%.
okay. Yeah, I don't know what my state's plan is, but probably slightly more ambitious because that's just how we are.
Mm. I was sorry, while you guys are kind of talking, I'm trying to like, I just jumped on the CDC website just to see what was their updates.
yeah. I know
Uh,
in my office, the way that the rules work with the mask is, if you're sitting at your desk, you don't have to have your mask on because you have more than 6 feet of separation between you and anybody else.
sure,
Hmm.
yeah.
But if you get up and move around or anything like that, you got to put your mask on.
Yeah, that's pretty much a similar situation for me. Like, yeah, when I'm at my office at my desk, I don't have mine on, but leaving, as you said, I had to throw it on. And of course, sometimes I have patients that not necessarily sitting at my desk, but like a bit of a distance, but obviously within like pretty close vicinity. So I have that mask and goggles on. So
Yeah. There's about 1,500 people that work in the building I'm in, so it's fairly densely packed in there.
a lot
Hmm.
of folks, a lot of folks. Um, let's see. You're fully vaccinated, Rollin, as of yesterday. I
Yeah, I
know.
mean after the 2 weeks, but yeah.
Right, right. Yes. But basically you got your final one. So
Yep.
good for you. I know, Justin, you had yours like 2, 3 weeks ago, final one. Ollieman, what's that?
Scheduled for the 26th for my first shot. I haven't been able to get in there yet, so it's. I called the day after it became available in my area, which was about 3 weeks ago now. So
Okay. Very good. Still good.
I
Oh,
was
I'm
waiting for
sorry.
it to be available for my age category, right?
Right.
So this is just the Twitter account from the CDC,
Perfect.
and it says update. If you are fully vaccinated against COVID-19, you can resume activities without wearing a mask or staying 6 feet apart, except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territory laws, including local business and workplace guidance. So basically, anywhere that nobody ever set a rule before,
Mhm.
you can take your mask off now.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I don't. I still don't think I will. I think masks are here to stay. I believe.
Yeah,
You know.
probably like unless cause like example at my work, like everyone I'm pretty sure has gotten the vaccine. So at some point, probably at my job, I might have the mask with me in case somebody walks in. But I feel like we're pretty open with like asking like, hey, have you been vaccinated? If they say yes, okay. Because we had like a couple weeks ago, we had a client come in. This is before I got any shots. That they were vaccinated, and my boss was fully vaccinated. So it's like they're pretty open with asking people. And same thing. Like my friends and I are going to hang out in about 2 weeks, or next week actually, because we're all vaccinated. So we're like, we'll hang out, we'll go have dinner, and not have to worry too much about it.
Right. No, it's interesting because healthcare workers had got it earlier on in the year. I remember the only outing I've pretty much had was I think it was back in March, first second week of March, where I went out to lunch with like myself and my three other nurses and my PA. Like we were all pretty much well within receiving the vaccine, and we hung out and everything. So but oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. But I agree. I still will, even if I'm outside, inside, whatever, abide by store rules, things like that. Will still wear mine, even though I've been fully vaccinated and things like that. Because now with all this, not like it's new news, but there's more reports now of people just creating fake cards because people don't want to be carded, or they don't want to be prohibited from entering certain places or traveling because they don't have all their vaccination. I'm like, why do you go through all that fucking effort? So
Just go get the vaccination.
But then the microchip will get you, even though your phone's a microchip and it will
it's
already get
easy.
you.
You don't have to have a card. It's a scanner on your arm. Come on.
Yep.
No, but yeah,
Can you
I
still
know.
hear me?
Huh?
Yep, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
I turned my volume down a little bit
Okay.
because it was echoing.
Oh.
Oh no, I still wear my mask even on drive-throughs. I put a mask on when I'm on the
Same.
drive-through
Yep, I
just
still
to
bring
be
it to everything,
courteous to the drive-through workers, because a lot of them are young and they might not have had a chance to get vaccinated, and there's no time for that exchange of, hey, are you vaccinated? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
just makes
when
sense.
when you see it on, it's you don't have to go through all that effort or eyeballing of certain people. Um, I haven't. I don't know. Just with the upcrop of, I know there's a case in Northern California where a guy and his son who are under felony charges for charging people $20 to make fake vaccine cards.
Oh yeah.
And it's the worst shit going on in Mexico, the worst, even more hell going on in India.
20
Brazil still
bucks for a
cray.
fake card, or it's free to get the vaccine. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. What'd you say, Kelly? I was in Chicagoland last week and everyone was wearing a mask. It was such a difference from where I live. What is Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
I know.
Chicago.
I have 3 masks out in my car right now.
Yeah, my entire.
In case I forget one to bring one from home, there's one there.
Amateur. I have 50. No, I was kidding.
Well,
actually, I
get
do.
in my
I'm
car
not
twice a
kidding
week,
about that.
so
Yeah, I have masks like hanging off of my the turn signal. So every once in a while, I'll like walk towards the store and I'll be like, I need a mask, so I have to turn around and go get it. And I was just like, can't believe I'm forgetting. It's been like a year, almost over a year already.
I still do sometimes too. It's like you get it. I got out and I went to go pay for gas. I was at the door about to walk in, turned around and went back to my car to get my mask.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew, I think we should keep masks around forever, regardless of pandemic. Why do you hate people's faces, Andrew? How dare you?
People's faces are terrible.
How many people got the flu this year? Next to none. Thank you, masks.
Because it's a left conspiracy.
I tweeted about that a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was like, childhood influenza deaths are down to like 1 versus the average season of over 200. And I was like, well, now that we know that we have a solution for this, not doing this is effectively saying, hey, we're going to sacrifice 200 children a year because we don't want to wear masks.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey.
Thanks for stopping by, Sir Michael.
Sir Michael of Famine.
Sir Michael of Famine. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think because I'm a flu nurse coordinator, and I think we're supposed to have like our type of summit or virtual meet sometime in end of July. We always it's like we already ended flu season. Now we start back up again. It's crazy. But yeah, even with the last meeting we attended, as far as within our organizations, our numbers weren't as high as far as administering the flu vaccine, um, which is it's actually interesting because there's a funny story behind that. Because earlier on in the pandemic, I would say like early April or May, we were still having patients come in at some point. Like a lot of patients then would ask if the flu vaccine was enough for them to prevent them from getting COVID. And obviously, not enough data and blah, blah, blah. But whatever nursing etiquette speech I gave them, it was so interesting to find that, in all my years of being a nurse and all my years of striving to make people get the flu shot, they're asking me, "Oh, can I get the flu shot? And will that help me with COVID too?" I'm like, no, but I'll give you the flu shot still.
No, but you should get the flu shot anyway. Or you just
Yeah.
say, I don't know, let's find out.
Yeah.
It can't help.
Sure it will. Here's a
It looks
double.
like-
It
It
can't
looks
hurt
like
you, so.
It looks like Mikey wants to battle with us.
Oh yeah.
The battle. I'm just what? I'm just
He wants to take
watching.
us down. He wants to fight.
What do you mean?
We're gonna
Well,
meet on the
I've learned at
podcast
my
street corner.
I learned on my stream that the best way to tell if someone's intentions are true is to fight them to the death. And if they win, then their intentions are true. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It only works if you're an immortal god, but because if they kill you, then you just come back eventually.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yep.
Of course.
So be an immortal god, challenge people to death matches to discover if they're virtuous or not. So we're gonna have to fight Mikey to the death at some point.
That's
You
all.
ready?
Hopefully, hopefully one of us can come back.
We get to choose our fighter. We have to pick one between the shows.
Choose our champion.
Who's your champion, Justin?
We're gonna pick Malty.
Oh yeah. Oh
He has
yeah.
some super secret tools and weapons that nobody
You know-
knows about.
Multi just finished building, and I apologize. I hope Multi joins later. He'll tell you all about it in his little segment. Multi knows everything about a little everything.
Yes.
He finished building a sink the other day.
I saw that.
You saw
So Malty's bringing everything and the kitchen sink. Okay.
Hey.
Right. Shit. I'm like, he sat down because we were getting ready to record MP, and he sat down. He was like, "Yeah, I finished building that sink," and I'm like, "You fucking would, Multi." And you know what? God damn it, I can't be mad, but I'm mad that you know how to do shit. He's funny. What is he rolling, Ollie?
Constitution.
You guys just have this thing.
Intimidation. We're just gonna have a battle.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a
do
D&D
this.
battle in the chat.
They
you guys
do
need
this.
to get your own room.
Roll initiative.
Oh god.
I'll go get my dice. They're buried somewhere. Yeah, I haven't played like a physical game of D&D in forever. It's all been online.
Don't you have dice, Justin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that nerd.
Lame. I got like 15 sets of dice because I did like that Reddit Christmas thing, and I said, oh, I like D&D, so they sent me like 3 things of dice, and I'm just like, I do not need this much dice, but now I have more dice.
I have a Crown Royal bag of dice.
Does that mean liquor? Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
answer faster.
That's okay.
Jeez.
They're there.
Yes.
I didn't.
Like, is that a question?
Yes, I formed it as a question. Are you still streaming?
Me?
No, Justin.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh, because I thought you were trying to share something. Are you still sharing?
No. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, okay.
You never seen a Crown Royal bag?
Yes, I've seen it. I just didn't understand. For
Yeah,
a split
I just
second.
have one that's full of dice.
17,
Aw.
Ollie.
So that means Ollieman goes first. All right, roll. What do you want to do? Attack? Here, we're gonna DM a session right now.
Oh my gosh. This
Jenna,
is
you're gonna learn
tonight's
how to play
show.
D&D right now.
All right, Mike.
On the fly.
Mikey, what kind of class character do you have?
I know
We
what roll 40 is.
What?
Roll 20.
Oh shit.
I can't see what you rolled. 15. Okay. Well, what are you rolling to do? You're a monk.
I don't know if
I don't
Ollieman's
fucking
talking
know.
or not.
There he
Hey,
is.
Malty.
The man that built the sink. How are you?
Hey, how's everybody? Oh, I need to get
Notorious.
my audio fixed here. Sorry, give me 1 second.
But you sound
That's-
crisp.
So
Yeah.
loud and crisp. You blew out my
Loud and-
eardrums.
Loud and crisp and
I can no longer hear.
sexy.
There we go.
Hey, the lemon is here for me to DM a session live on FWAS now. So we're
Oh,
so Malty,
shit.
we are DMing a live battle between Ollieman and Mikey Famine through the chat. Well, Ollieman rolled the dice.
Mikey, what's Mikey
I don't know. He
angry
didn't.
about?
No, he said something about trying to take us down, and then Ollieman like rolled the dice at some point, and then Mikey took that as a challenge. So it was initiative, and then he
Oh.
rolled, and so now we're trying to do a fight. But
Yeah, that's the
Apparently-
whole thing.
Ollieman has to tell us what he's gonna do to Mikey, and then Mikey still hasn't told us what class he is.
Apparently it's D&D fight night. on
Yes.
FWAS.
Okay.
Well, I've learned it from my stream today. The best way to tell someone's virtue is to challenge them to a death match, and if they beat you, then they're virtuous. But it
Yeah,
only
they're
works
violent.
if you, the one who challenges a person, are an immortal god. So we're just hoping that one of us is an immortal god.
So how do
Well,
they
yeah.
beat you? If you're
No, I beat them.
immortal?
Well,
Well, they can die, but then they don't like
Oh.
dissipate, like their
Okay,
body
like-
dies or whatever.
Like Highlander.
like Highlander.
I guess so.
Yeah. There can be only one.
I think Ollieman's talking, but I'm not hearing him.
Are you talking, Ollie Man? Are you muted, Ollie Man?
My mic was off. Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh.
He's been talking for a long time.
Oh, shit.
Aw,
Damn it.
we missed
I
everything.
was trying to say to you that 12 to hit was +7 with my quarterstaff.
Oh.
Back him up the side of his head.
All right, Mikey, what's your AC?
It's
Nice.
terminology I don't
But
understand.
legitimately, it's not a fair fight between his character and my character. I think, Mikey, what's your character? Level 3 or 4?
Oh, you're just gonna? Or you're
Yeah.
killing a squire? What are you doing?
13. All right,
I
Mikey
see.
got hit. Mikey got very much hit. Roll for damage.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter
Hey,
anyway.
there's
So it
this
says we have
DMing
to start
session.
over.
I don't have a D8 handy.
All right,
so-
everybody roll for initiative now.
21.
We're DMing the whole session right now.
I probably
that's
didn't
funny.
do that right at all.
All right, you all walk into a tavern.
Oh, bar fight.
Is that how every campign starts?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I'll walk
I feel like
into it.
that's how
Yeah.
every
You
campaign
wake
starts.
up in an inn, you walk into a tavern,
You're
Walk
in
into
an
a
Yeah.
tavern,
introduces you at the
suddenly decide
bar.
to be friends with everybody who's there, and you're all adventurer buddies, and you just go on a mission together.
Either that, or you check the board and you pick up a job. You gotta
Yeah.
get pick up
There's
the
only
job.
one
board.
job though, because it has to be the prepared campaign.
Oh,
Y'all too deep in this. Too
Well,
deep.
I wanna make my own RPG or tabletop RPG based on a book that I am trying to write as well.
You're
So,
ready. Oh, yes, you are ready.
I'm attempting to write a book.
I forget that you were the mysterious Rallon Wolfheart. Rallon Wolfheart.
I thought you were a gnome, Mikey.
What happened?
Because I, earlier on, you
Oh,
were like.
I was the mysterious
before-
Rallum. I was the mysterious Rallum Storm in the chat because I was Resperton.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
mhm.
That was,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then I joined your channel, and then I found link to something, which was a story, and I was like, this is legit, but there's only like one chapter. But I hope they keep coming back.
What was that?
It was like something, I don't know if I directly went to your actual channel or you had linked something into a comment of one of our earlier shows in the beginning of the year. Something where it brought me to a website.
Maybe, because I don't remember ever writing anything. So
I just made all that shit up.
I mean, I don't know. I could just completely forget and have no
So
idea.
you have a book that you have started to write,
Yeah,
but
so
you haven't started
so
writing?
I have a like basically I have a story from, pretty much the beginning to the end. But it needs like
Outlined.
tweaking. No, it's like written because there's like actual like writing and stuff, but it needs to be tweaked because I wrote it like one way, and then I'm like, I need to change this whole dynamic of this one character, and then I need to change them again. But I have pretty much like beginning to end for this one story. It just needs to be like tweaked, but I haven't like published it. But one thing I am trying to do is I'm trying to start so there's these two websites, one called Web Novel and one called Wattpad, and they're kind of like
Wattpad
places
I
where
heard of.
places like where authors can go and they can kind of like write their stories in like real time, where they like release a chapter like every couple of days or so, and so people can follow them and be like, oh, you just released a chapter, I'm going to read this chapter real quick, and then a couple days later they release the next chapter. So that's kind of a way that people, and so I'm just like, maybe that's a way I can just get my stories out instead of like having to write the entire thing, do like
Hey.
50,000 drafts and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Dune was put out on a weekly newspaper. It was put out in the Sunday edition,
Yeah.
chapter by chapter.
Yeah, my partner introduced me to web novel and was like, read this one. And the thing about web novel too is it's kind of like informal writing, because like this one book, the only book I read on there was like this story about this guy who like reincarnated as an ant in this like world where you like fight things, and it's like 700 chapters in, and it's got like tons of followers, and this guy makes like $4,000 a month on Patreon because of how many people support him. And it's like, and I've read it, and it's like, it's a pretty good story, but it's like, it's kind of repetitive at some points. It has some boring chapters, and there's like spelling errors and stuff like that. But I'm like, it doesn't seem to matter. Like on this site, if he has things that like editors would cry at, people still love the story for the character and the storyline. So it's like, that's my thing. Sometimes is I write and I'm like, oh, if I put this out, like editors would tear it apart. I'm like, well, what if I just get the story out instead and do it on this method? So that's what I'm hoping to do.
Interesting.
So is this story an original story, or is it like fan fiction based?
Yeah, the one I wrote is original. Yeah, all of my stories are original except for one that's like, this is it's based off this kid's book that I read, but I just thought it was really, I like the lore of the story, so I wanted to make my own like version of it. So that might be something I try to do at some point. But I literally have like 30 novel ideas, so I can't write all of them, especially when I have to work a full-time job and do that.
Yeah, that damn job gets in the way.
Yeah.
You can always just like they say on the shows, give us your best story. Whenever people call in and say, well, I got all these different, give us your best one.
Well, there's one I really want to write that just came up recently. I haven't written like anything on it, but I just have like ideas that I want to do. Yeah, they range from stuff, and I'm like, I just need to like sit down and do stuff. But there's like so much other stuff I want to do too. I just need to be like better with like sitting down and doing work, because that's my thing. Sometimes I'll sit down, I'm like, I don't want to do anything, I just want to watch Netflix. And I'm like, well, that's not helpful for me trying to do stuff.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Like, I be wanting to do certain things or have ideas or even just manage to fucking do my homework, but it's like you just want to like either lay down, chill, or just bullshit on your phone.
Yeah. Well, it's also like the part thing is that I only see my partner on the weekends, so it's kind of like when I go to see him, I kind of want to spend time with him as opposed to sitting on my computer, typing away at something.
Yeah.
And though he could, sit there also and play, Final Fantasy or whatever, it's like, well, I kind of prefer to, interact and like, hang out and like watch a movie together, or like us commenting on it or something.
Can you put the fucking game controller down? Trying to interact with you.
Except for Saturday nights, he gets his games because he Final Fantasy is like a MMORPG, so it's a bunch of people playing, and he and some friends of his get together and like fight people. So Saturday night is his time. Saturday is after 9:30 is his time to play.
Our good old Christine is a part of that, as far as I know.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been playing Final Fantasy 14 for a long time.
Long time.
She still plays it now.
I started a couple months ago, so I'm not that far into it, but
yeah. So I've had like 3 misstarts on Destiny Original Sin 2. I think this one we're actually we might actually get through the game with the campaign of 4 people. It's tough when you got 4 people and you're trying to work through a game that's going to take 6 months to complete if you're going to go like 3 hours once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get in those 18-hour gaming sessions.
Oh boy. I think the
Bleeding
longest
from
gaming session
I
I've had
have
is like
no.
6 hours.
I can't do that anymore. My eyes, no. Can't do
I
it.
passively and directly play Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's watched enough videos to where her memories are blending in with her experiences of she thinks that she's played through the whole game now already.
I know this shit, bro.
She's a level 80 white mage.
Level 80. Wow. Yeah.
Goddamn, Christine.
But yeah, I mean, that sounds interesting. I've always thought about writing, but man, it takes a lot of work. You really gotta keep on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the writing I did has been like throughout the years. Like I think I started in like high school and I've just been kind of like picking away at it. So it's pretty long. Well, like the last couple months, what I did was I gathered every single version of the notes I found. Like, because sometimes I would like write a whole thing. I would save that draft in case I wanted anything from it, and then I would, make another draft, a saved copy, and I would go through that and fix it. But then I had just like all of those like saved up. So I had like 15 versions of the first story, so I'm just like, let me just try to go through these notes and just get rid of them. So it was a lot of words. Most of it was just like deleting, because I'm like, all right, I've gone through this is like the 15th time I've gone through this story, like I know this is all just repeating. But it was like several million words of just over and over and over again trying to fix it. But I think my story now is like maybe 300,000 words or something, maybe. That's the other thing with like the web novel Wattpad things, is like they, like if you have a story, you're like, oh, if it's like 400 pages long, that's kind of like pushing it a little bit. I don't know if I can like sell a book that's a certain lengths, depending on like how much you want to try and sell it. But like if you do web novel where you just release it every chapter, people can just read the chapters. Like again, the story I have I've been reading is 700 something chapters long. If that was a book, it would be like enormous.
Yeah, you probably want to chop that down into like a trilogy or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
I guess
700 chapters? No, that'd be like 10 books.
Yeah,
depends on your chapter length,
Yeah, they're not very long chapters. They're probably like a couple thousand. They're maybe like 1,000 something words. Because that's the point. Is someone sits down to read it, they don't really want to read like 50 pages, at a time. They want to read like a couple. Like on my phone, it's like 13 pages is like the average or something. So they're short.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kelly is just trying to just put us to sleep. I've written a few geology-based scientific papers, and those are a real drag.
Hey,
You gotta pick on Kelly while he doesn't have a camera.
I bet your essays about geology rock.
I'm just kidding. You rock, Kelly.
Yeah. He's never heard that before.
I'm sure. Get it? You rock, Kelly.
I'm sure it's totally original. No one has ever said something like that to him ever.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm here to write
give
all
me
the
credit
jokes.
where credit is due. Freaking haters.
Mm-hmm. Sulfates and nitrites. Nitrites. You betcha.
Malty, the way you said it was just like, I feel like you just said it like with legit attitude, like, sulfates and nitrites.
Did you hear what sulfate and nitrite were doing the other day? Oh my gosh.
I can't. That's too good. Oh god. No, I was gonna say I used to write fanfics. I only legitly finished one story. This was like when I was 13, 14. Yeah. I finished this one fanfic I finished. It was based on Inuyasha. That's
an anime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of it was based on anime. And I finished it. It came out to like 32 chapters. I don't know where the fuck it is. It's not even on the website I posted it on. And if it is, I forgot the account login. So, oh well.
It's lost. It's lost to the void.
It's lost forever. No.
Yeah, I wrote like a fan fiction where I pretty much just like rewrote part of the story. Like I basically just went, like, it was a book series, so I basically just went to like part of the first book and just kind of like inserted my characters into it and just had them like interacting with the storyline pretty much. So that I wrote a little bit of it, but it was something that like a 16-year-old would write. So some of the like characters and how they acted were not exactly like made sense, or they were very petty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm grown now.
It was such bullshit because obviously I would make the characters I really, really hate and put the couples that I really, really wanted together. I'm like, oh, so typical teenage bullshit.
That's called
Great.
shipping. It's fine. It's allowed.
Thank you. It's allowed.
Yeah. A lot of my books don't have like romancy stuff. I know one does, but like I don't know. It's not my cup
Not
of
your
tea.
thing.
Yeah.
So is it mainly like the books that you write adventure? Is it a particular drama, murder, crime, whatever?
They're mostly like fantasy based, you know, like
Mhm.
magic and stuff like that. I have like I have a couple that are like sci-fi. One of them that I want to write is like a detective novel sort of thing. But yeah, most of them are like fantasy. But basically what happens is like I'll be watching a TV show or playing a video game, and you know the concept of whatever it is interesting, and then I will create it in my own sort of, you know, I'll take like that portion of it that I like and just kind of build off of it to my own sort of thing. Like Dragon Age Inquisition inspired the story that I'm writing now.
Huh.
That was a cool story, Dragon Age.
Yeah.
So now the goal, Rallon, is that once you start finishing chapters, you present them to us, so that way we can start using your banner again.
Hey, lecture time. Am I reading the stories to everybody?
Yes, and you're gonna quiz us, mainly Justin.
We're having book club, and it's my books. They have no depth to them at all. Like they're not going to be something like, oh, the way the sun was shining on the face of the hero exemplifies their like brightness in the dark world or something. Like I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. Like I'm not all about that at all.
No. Oh, what did you say, Ollieman?
Just has to read excerpts from the chapters just to tease us with them, to make us go read them ourselves.
There you go.
I mean, my goal right now is to write like 30 chapters ahead, and then kind of have like a Patreon where, you know, I put 30 chapters on ahead of time, and eventually kind of build up so that, you know, when chapter 1 goes out to the public, chapter 30 is already out for the patrons, and I would release a different story on Wattpad and Web Novel. So if you want to be a patron, only want to read one, you have the option to just read that one story, or you can read my other ones, and then maybe like higher ranking patrons would get other stories that I'm writing. Because I mean, like, my hope is that one day I'd be able to write most of my stories, but I don't hope that will ever happen.
If you release it like chapters at a time, you can modify some of the later content based on feedback in real time.
Yeah, my hope is that, like, my aspiration is that I would kind of release the chapters, and then at a point, you know, either people giving feedback or, you know, stuff like that, be able to make it so it can be released as like a physical novel that, you know, the people who already read it can just have it, or, you know, I can release it for everyone else who isn't on Wattpad or Web Novel.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. So first tier is $100.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gotta start out strong. They gotta really want it. No, that's legit. So
we'll see if I get to it. It sounds nice. Let's see if I can put it into practice.
We will make it a healthy point to apply shame if you do not start.
You call me out on every stream.
I'll call you out on every stream. Like, Rallon, what the fuck is the book? No, that's great. I mean, I thought I would. Well, I thought I wanted to do a whole bunch of shit. I thought I wanted to do a lot of video editing because I got into that when, you know, in my early teens. I thought I wanted to do, you know, fan fiction writing, and I finished one story and I wrote about maybe 6 and never finished them. Like I only got as deep as chapter 3, and then I just like, well, I lost the story. I don't know, or I lost the desire for that show, and I moved on to something else. I think even at one point, I was like, 10, 11-ish where I started to think I can be a songwriter. Yeah, I don't know. That was bad. But
You
There's
don't.
can be a lot of work that goes into understanding, like, who would know music theory and language and gosh,
if
English
only I took music theory at 10 years old, Malty.
at
If
10 years
only.
old.
If
Yeah.
only I had that education. No, no, I see your point. That
Yes.
that shit's not easy.
Well, yeah, not everyone can be Felicia Day, you know.
Holy what?
Jenna,
Felicia
Oh,
Day.
oh God, that woman is so smart. She
Oh,
was. She was like
Felicia Day.
taking. Yeah, she was learned. She had learned violin by the time she was like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like you said the name so fast. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it
yeah,
took me
Okay.
a
What?
second to figure out who you're talking about.
Felicia Day.
Felicia.
Got it.
Felicia.
Jenna, do you want to share what you got for Nurses Week?
No,
Did you
because
get a
it's going in the
rock?
trash.
Uh,
Oh yeah, did you get your rock from Kelly yet or not yet?
No, because I don't have money.
Oh.
Didn't you get a rock for Nurses Week?
No, I'll share. Well, I probably can share it because it has a thing
yeah.
on it. So, but I will say what I got for Nurses Week, and I will tell you what I know of a certain nurse that got for their Nurses Week. So, not to dox myself, I am a nurse. Hi.
Shocking.
So for Nurses Week, which officially did end yesterday, but anyway, um, God, uh, our and it wasn't just exclusive to our department. So, I received a box basically, and inside said box, it had, the company's name pretty all over it. Inside said box was a bag of old candy, and each piece of candy represented whatever the fuck they wanted it to represent. I can't even fucking tell you what each one was. There was like a Tootsie Roll, there was a Starburst, which was the lemon flavor, yuck. There was
Ew, the lemon
uh
flavor.
there was there was a
We love
lifesaver
you,
which was
Lemon.
right. There was a lifesaver which was purple. I ate that one. Um and then a couple of other ones. I think there was like a really hard bubblegum one.
Like
And
a
something
single lifesaver just rolling around, catching lint and
like
stuff.
how you buy the big bags. God damn it, Multi.
A lint
You
saver
know how
or
you
a
buy the big
lifesaver?
bags?
Okay, it's no, yeah, they're
Yeah, and then the
individually.
individual one, right?
Okay, yeah.
And obviously the lifesaver meant, oh, you're a lifesaver. Oh yeah, creative.
it's
Um,
it's just like so cringy hearing all these like employee appreciation like things.
It,
Like my partner has that too. Like where for like employee appreciation, they like gave him a chocolate bar that had like the company's logo on it, and then when he opened it, it's a Hershey bar, and you're just like, what is this? And it's like,
this
okay,
is
that's your
false
appreciation.
advertisement.
Yeah, and
You
like
can get
occasionally they'll give
sued.
them like sandwiches, and there's like, you just give us a bonus. Like, stop spending money on like food and just give us money.
Thank
Well,
you. Drives
how
the
about,
point, right? Yeah.
if they either hired out or internally had a committee to design this
Whatever.
box.
Yeah, and that
Yep.
fucking person should be fired. Because okay, I'm not finished though, but yes, in the box was the bag of candy that represented whatever, and then I got a miniature thing of hand sanitizer, of course, a small thing of lotion, and a pen that had the company's name on it. Like I don't fucking have pens. And then at the bottom of all that was a little card that said, "Oh, because of your bravery and duty of service to our patients, yada yada yada, happy Nurses Week." And yeah, I fucking threw that thing away. I was just like, and
Yeah, just
for me, it's not like I spent a lot of time on the front line. Like I did COVID testing for a few weeks and stuff, like towards the beginning of the pandemic, and I had to do a lot of like shift changes and like pandemic preparedness stuff and training and things like that, and that's nothing compared to the nurses and ICU nurses. Like not only are you providing a service of care that works on you physically, but emotionally that shit is rough. And I currently don't work in a department where I actively put a lot of physical exertion and put my life at risk like that. I've done that. I've done basic life support on a living person where I've felt that I'm cracking their ribs, and I literally did. In one instance, I saved their life, and in another instance, they unfortunately died. And that shit is like, you feel that. There's been instances where I've taken care of, elderly patients that I was really close to and they knew me. And then, not only are you caring for them while they're living, but once they die, you do the aftercare too. And I provided that patient, amongst 10 others, aftercare, literally cleaning their dead body, dressing them up so that their family doesn't walk in and see them, a hot mess, basically.
Mm.
So even though I have not actively worked during the pandemic and those types of situations, the experience and knowing how of an emotional toll it can take on you is real. And then you get this bullshit box. And that's not even the worst gift. And going back to the rock thing, my one of my coworkers, there another employee that she knew of sent her an image of a post that was made from that very morning. And this particular department received a brown paper bag with the company's logo on it. I actually have the picture of what it fucking said. I can at least tell you what it said. And basically, inside the brown paper bag was a fucking rock that you can just pick up from outside. It was literally just a rock, like
Okay.
this big. And it said on the brown paper bag, encouragement stones. Oh God, this brings me back to Kelly's woo. Okay, it says
What level woo wizard was the person who did this?
I don't know. Kelly, look it up.
Kelly would
Encouragement
know.
stones. Please take one. Wow. Take a moment to paint an image, a word, or a phrase of encouragement or wisdom. Keep the rock or give it to a friend as a reminder that the work you do rocks. Happy Nurses Week.
I'm like dying on the inside from this.
That is so bad.
It's so bad.
That face palm is the only way to describe that.
And again,
Yeah.
they hired a company or had a department of advertisement come up with this idea.
You rock.
Ellie
Yeah,
says the guy was 6th level.
At least 6th level, yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly.
So it's a very like weak incantation compared to, everyone else.
So
At
make
most
your
a
own.
3rd level spell.
Yeah, so make your own gift. Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit. I mean, again,
I don't like crafting in games. I really don't. Come on. I mean, so why would I like it at work?
Are you
Right?
telling me I have to craft a gift? God damn it.
I
No,
craft my own gift. Yeah.
Get your woo wizard skills up.
You know,
You
it's
can-
like a
you can craft your-
microtransaction to give you a paint skills so you can make your own. So instead of, giving you a house that you want the color of, they give you
Mhm.
you have to buy the paintbrush and paint.
I'm like, again, like, yeah, I haven't worked in that environment, but I'd be damned if those nurses received a fucking rock or the bullshit hard ass candy or another hand sanitizer. Like, I don't already fucking have 3 sitting on my desk.
I have so much hand sanitizer, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with all this
a
hand
year
sanitizer?
ago, that would have been a big deal.
Hot commodities.
Yeah, you are right. My apologies, Justin. You are absolutely right. It would have been a big deal. Just as much as and it is still a big deal. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
a
downplay
year ago
the
they
fact.
could have gave everybody their bonuses in toilet paper, and it would have been acceptable.
That is very
Taking it.
acceptable.
Here's $1,000 of toilet paper.
Or
I've-
gas.
I've been told to bathe in the hand sanitizer.
What?
Oof.
Just I drop that, make my eyes nice and clean.
I'm not enter. What are you trying to say? No, but And, thinking about it, I don't know what type of monetary reward, not necessarily saying it has to be money, but
Get that Rolex.
right?
Or that fancy
So
Rolex.
No, it's just,
when
yeah, it doesn't measure up to the risk a lot of nurses, and I'm not just, I'm stressing nurses because of the fact that it's a appreciation nurses week, but
Yep.
obviously other medical professionals, even if they weren't medical professionals, like cleaning staff,
yeah,
kitchen crew, people that did maintenance while having to roam around hospital wards and stuff, all of those folks. The fact that it's measured down to some old ass candy or a rock you could pick out off the street. That's not the same. It's not the same. And I, as much as I enjoy the job that I do, enjoy the work that I do, enjoy the passion that I have for it, it's I think it's very shameful, borderline disrespectful, and I just wish there was a better appreciation for the type of work those people have done. Sorry.
Here, we'll give you this
But
fancy rock, Jenna. This
it
one
would have
will
been
cure your
better.
headaches.
That's pretty because it's purple.
It would have been better to not give like a gift, like give them a letter or something, or a note or a
Yep.
card, rather
That's
than
fair.
some crappy afterthought gift.
And Jira's trying to assure me that she don't think I'm nasty, or they don't think I'm
You
nasty.
could give me vending machine gift cards, and I'll be happy with those.
There you go.
mm,
Even
Yeah.
like a gift card would have just been nice, cause just for anything,
Yeah.
like a nearby a restaurant or even like a small one. Like it doesn't, you don't have to like break the bank on it, but just something would have been good.
Mm-hmm. I'm certainly not. I haven't even proposed anything I would possibly request as like some type of actual appreciation gift, but that that definitely did not measure up. So I didn't really take it as it's so much of a affront for me as much as the people that are still working through all that. So, yay, happy Nurses Week. But really,
Yeah.
and not to downplay any of that, it's just, that's an unfortunate case. Who knows what any other organization, hospital, medical office, whatever has done. And if it's a hell of a lot better than what my company did, great. Um, and, um, just, being in that type of line of duty is rough, no matter what kind of job you do, or no matter what type of position that you have as a nurse. It hasn't fallen not too far away from me that you know people's idea of what a nurse is okay, you're automatically an RN, which I'm not, and then you are automatically a person that works in a hospital, which I don't. And so, to be measured to that standard, like there's so many different avenues and so many different ways of patient care that people don't understand and see. And that's fine. But that doesn't lessen the importance of what it took to get that license and how much it took to earn it and the work you had to do to get the kind of job you do want, in a sense, as a nurse, because there's a lot of different kinds of positions, and I happen to be fortunate enough to have the type of position I have, which
Hmm.
is a very, very rare one, and
Yeah,
I love it.
my sister-in-law, she's a nurse, and she works at home now, doing um I don't know, clinical management, or some sort of management, and
Hey, giggler.
but she worked in hospitals for I think like 7 years before she was able to get that job.
Hmm.
Look who's joined us.
Hey,
Hello,
how's it?
Um,
look at the weather.
Look at that.
so,
Nice
Giggler, is this,
California evening.
yeah,
We've
Look
Giggler,
at
already
is this,
doxed you. It's
It's
okay.
way too early in the day to look that hungover so late in the day.
that and the fact that you're not inside the home, is this your escape?
He's been kicked out. He just lives in the yard now.
I
Why would he do that? He's got a pool house. What do you mean?
Why does everyone hate me so much? I'm gonna mute again.
Why does everyone hate me?
Oh, Giggler, you're fine. How are you, young man? It's been a while.
So I'm outside because I had a run-in with my mother-in-law
Oh,
about
boy.
vaccinations.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is juicy. Please, let's put you on the big
Oh
screen.
no.
Yeah.
You're on the big screen.
Wrong one.
Not
Well,
you.
you're-
That's good enough.
Not you. Wrong white man. All right, go.
It's your chance.
Maybe
Only
next time.
12
not-
people are going to see this. Go.
We're not live. Go ahead.
Yeah, we are.
This is tough. This is tough. On my wife's side of the family, we have a lot of people who are anti-vaccine. On my side of the family, my brother-in-law's brother's wife is facing getting intubated potentially,
Oh.
and we understand that once you get put on an event with COVID, survival like 50-50.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even worse, even on that side, this particular group of people were not vaccinated. And I don't know that they chose not to be, but I feel like they probably had the option of getting vaccinated and declined early on. Whether they're anti-vax or just like, we're concerned, we're going to wait. Now somebody might die because of that. Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry
That-
about
It is
that.
what it is.
That sucks.
Rough.
Sorry to bring the group down, as it were.
No, no. I
And
mean,
with
um,
that.
I already did.
I'm I'm
Jenna was crying about getting a rock.
I'm
It's been a thing.
tentatively
so
optimistic. I mean, I look at now my governor is saying that as long as you can have proof of being fully vaccinated, they're allowing for venues to open. They're allowing for people to, go to sports events and movie theaters and everything. It's either you're going to wear a mask or you're going to carry proof of vaccination. Your choice. That's what they're doing in
I like
my
that.
state.
I like that.
And Jenna, I'm not condoning violence, but I'm sure you can get a stirrup, a piece of rubber hose, and maybe a bandage or something, and you can make a pretty good sling, and you can fire that rock back right where it deserves
Look,
to go.
we can't. No, we can't have
No.
you and Malty both making weapons on the show at the same time.
What weapon?
Maybe one, but not both of
Sulfates
you.
and nitrates? No. I was talking about minerals, not explosives.
No, you two are both too creative together. All right, we need to not.
Not here. I don't want to know.
You should do your own show where you just makeshift weapons in your kitchen.
I was like non-violent as possible. How what
Oh
weapon?
yeah, sorry. Malty will build like ladders and sinks and windows. And
Hey, I built this thing.
Ollieman would build medieval weapons.
Malty will be like the character in like all those games where it's like, oh, build a tower, and he's just built it, and it's like done in 2 seconds. He'll build the fortifications.
Yeah, and pretty much Ollieman will construct anything that you can use as a pipe.
Here's a potato pipe.
Here's a-
Apple.
I need a
Towel.
potato.
I'm going to have to learn how to blow glass.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna beat you with it, or I'm gonna smoke with it. Doesn't really matter to me.
There are
Mm.
2 options.
Either way,
World.
Really?
good time. Oh god damn
I like
it.
it.
I like it. I like it. Giggler from Aunt Jo.
Yeah.
It's Lord of the Flies in there.
Oh man.
I like that look. And
So when you say you're getting into it with your mother-in-law, this is one of her family members who is maybe intubated that has had a chance to become
No.
the other side of the
So,
family.
Yeah, my side has somebody.
So
I know,
triggering.
like, this stuff is
I can see
complicated.
how that'd be
It's-
triggering.
It's my brother-in-law's brother's wife, whatever that means to anybody. It's super complicated, but it's a person I vacation with regularly who's
Okay, so someone that you want
she's in a lot
to
of danger right
potentially
now.
keep.
She's not old. Like she's my-ish age, and she's my-ish healthy, and this is life-threatening right now. So it's not
Well,
like
they're.
all the.
I mean, on the
They always want
upside,
to present
there's.
like, oh, you were overweight and old.
No,
Mhm.
No.
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 How can
They are
everyone see that?
they are significantly better with outcomes than they were early on.
Yeah.
And there's better treatments available, and they know more. But early on, vent was like 80 to 90% or higher. People weren't coming off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just
What-
they didn't know how to treat them. They were being overwhelmed. It was just like a whole combination of factors.
Well, there was
Yeah.
a massive shortage, and then people
Yeah.
weren't monitoring the vents very well.
Because they just didn't have
Um,
enough people to.
Yeah.
What's killing me? What's killing me on the group text is all the people saying, "Oh, we're praying."
Oh,
When people who are
wonderful.
Yeah.
we're praying, people vaccinating. Like, actually do stop just asking God to interact when He's given you a route, if He exists, to actually do something. Get fucking vaccinated. What is wrong with you? Why do you want to hurt people?
Mhm.
I don't want to go on a rant. I'm like this close to going on a rant about everything.
Well, I mean, I like what I saw. So there was a guy, a newscaster on CNN, put his foot in his mouth. Who was his name? Kucinich?
Dennis Kucinich? No,
Different Kucinich.
that is.
Yeah. Does Dennis? No, Dennis is
I think I know who you're talking about. I just can't.
it's just he's from CNN, and he was he was just saying just stupid things about faith, and man, Twitter just took him to town. So I just hope that it just continues to get more and more normalized, that we're just not putting up with this bullshit anymore, you know?
Yeah, it's rough, and even with the creation of fake vaccines and people charging others for fake cards and things like that, there's always going to be some type of weird ass bullshit scam.
Hey, anybody got a cow? I hear
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah, they found it in briefcases and all over. It's a big mess.
Oh no!
What? No idea what you're talking about.
They found shit, Ollie man. They found shit.
Well,
Cow
the people,
dung
the
cakes.
people in India are so desperate that
Mhm.
they're utilizing anything that they can think of to combat this, and it's
Yes.
a huge mess.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
It's
Well,
really rough. Yeah.
Giggler, if you want to rant more, we'll do it in the after show.
We'll give you free reign to rant.
Free range of ranting, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
We'll
300.
use a voice disguiser, and you can just go all day, every day.
There you go. Keep the hat, glasses, and hoodie.
There you go. Yeah. I know it's me.
Oh gosh. Okay. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for, allowing me to cry, you bastards. No, this is good. Good discussion. You guys are fun always. Ollie man, you are officially going to be starting to be among the regulars, correct?
I'll try to be. Yeah. I don't want to
I
make
heard
any
a yes.
solid
Thank you.
commitments, but you heard yes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll task you with coming up with topics then. We got
What?
this.
No.
What?
What?
All right.
Yeah. Perfect. You got to earn your own segment. All these
If you
folks
want
got
me to
it.
talk about topics. We're going to talk about Star Wars a lot and D&D a lot. All right.
Oh, that's fine.
Next stream, we're just having a DM session. That's it. We're just having
Nah.
a D&D session. We're all just making impromptu characters, and we're just playing.
We
I gotta
could do
rename this.
one where we just teach Jena how to play D&D because she's never played.
We'll say, Jenna, shout a number between 1 and 20.
Just shout.
Just say a number.
20.
If we don't tell you what it's for, you won't know which high or low to
Which,
pick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Roll initiative. I don't fucking know. Whatever.
just roll
Do
a
it
dice.
for
Because
me.
if it's attacking, you want higher. Initiative, you want lower. It's fine. Just make up numbers.
We'll learn. Next stream is just we teach Jenna D&D in an hour, and that's it.
See, now I'm old school.
And we'll have people play in the chat too if they want.
Oh God, I gotta rename the stream. Anyway,
This would be great.
roll COVID. No. Anyway, okay, we're gonna go. Thank you.
You need a saving throw versus COVID? Is that what you said?
Constitution throw. Constitution saving throw.
Oh my God. Bye.